Welcome everyone at About Pharma interviews. I'm pleased to have today Anita Frauwallner, CEO of Insitut AllergoSan. Together we will speak about the growing interest in microbiome and the use of probiotics in clinical practice. Good morning and welcome at About Pharma.
Hello, wonderful to meet you here.
Let's start to introduce the state of art of the market. So, how many studies were published last year, and what were the most relevant?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would say it might be about really relevant studies. We could count about 25,000 in probiotic medicine. So this is an enormous amount because I remember when I started with this business in 1991, there were 19 publications. So what a great difference in these 25 years. But it's also very interesting now that we have different areas which are really important. Of course, we talk about gastrointestinal diseases like diarrhea or constipation, but I would say for these, we have solutions for many years already. Now, science is focusing more on really problematic diseases, like, for example, all the liver diseases, because most people are not aware that already 30% of the population have liver diseases, and the numbers are growing, and most people are not aware of the disease. So 70% will find out only when they really come into hospital with big problems. And what has been seen is that there is a clear relationship, and we call it the gut-liver axis. So, of course, everything that comes with what we eat into the gut will then go further on to the liver to be detoxified. Yeah, but too much of toxins will really give the liver too much to do, and therefore we get more and more problems with diseases where there is no help nowadays. You must imagine no drug, nothing. But what we can do is to do with the right probiotic bacteria, we can indeed improve all the liver functions. We can improve immunity. We can improve so many other things like infections and so on. So that's one of the main targets right now. But also, for me, it's very important to go into the area of pediatrics, because more and more children are now born already with autoimmune diseases. They are born with allergies. Oh, I remember, because I was an allergic child actually, but I was the only one in my school. So when I went to primary school, I was the only child with allergies and atopic eczema. Nowadays, it comes up to 30%. So it's very important already to go into pregnancy and to work on that pregnancy is perfect, so that you will then have a healthy child. And talking about pregnancy, gynecology. Just think about all those women who would love to have a child, but it's not possible. So a lot of work is now done in probiotic areas to find out how to improve vaginal health, and to improve not only that, women feel really well with these perfect lactobacilli in the vagina, but also these lactobacilli are incredibly important for being able to get pregnant. A great field of interest and science. And I would say everybody who is working like I do, and I'm still working, although normally most of my friends have already retired, but I think this is a matter of the so-called gut brain axis. So if you can concentrate, if you are able really to have also positive mood and you really feel active also in your brain, this depends on the bacteria in the gut. So gut-brain axis, this is something all over the world. There is a clear focus on that. And also, as we have seen, if you have a healthy brain, you will never have problems with Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease. And crazy thing, it depends on the bacteria in your gut. Which ones are there? Which ones are perhaps absent? Yeah, and many people know that I came into this field of microbiome research only because I lost my husband through a colon cancer at the crazy age of 40 years. So for me, cancer has always been a target. Is it possible to improve your gut and especially the composition of your gut bacteria so that cancer will not be able to develop? So it's too early to say too much about it, but I would say in a few years, everybody will discuss this in science.
Right. Institut AllergoSan was born 30 years ago in Graz, but now is a leading producer of probiotics in German-speaking countries and fourth in the world. What are the main reasons of this success?
Mm-hmm. I think there is one thing that I would say is the main reason. Probiotics have been in this world for nearly 100 years. And when I came into that field, that was not because I had studied microbiology, but as a matter of fact, my husband, who had been a medical doctor himself, he died of a colon cancer at the age of 40. And then I thought, okay, we had perhaps all the medical doctors, all those researchers, they had perhaps not found the real target, what they should have done. And this was why I came into the field of probiotics and the microbiota research. And that was for me an incredible thing. You see, we have a son, so everything I wanted to do is to protect my son from that fate that I had seen with his father. And so I really tried to have the best probiotics in the world. My staff, they always say, oh, quality is in the DNA of Anita Frauwallner. I think, yes, this is perhaps more of a joke, but I think if you have the highest levels of quality, then you're able to do really medically relevant probiotics, not just probiotic food. And most of the probiotics throughout the last 50 years were just on the level of probiotic food. But now it's also for me, we do not just want probiotics for prevention. What we are really searching for those bacteria that you can really have in treatment. And also, and I think this is something very, very special, what we did with Omnibiotic was our probiotics are always indication specific. So it's not one probiotic for all, yeah, but you need different probiotics if you go into gynecology, if you go into depression, or for example, if you want to improve liver function, you always need special probiotics. Nobody would think about creating a drug that can everybody use. So why should you use it with probiotics? And why should there be hundreds of different probiotic species in your gut if you would need only one? That's crazy. So I never believed in that. And this is why I have really targeted probiotics. This is very, very also personalized, I think, because every person has its specific health or disease. So you need also very specific indication-specific probiotics.
So talking about education, what is itPROM Scientific Association promoted by Insitut AllergoSan? What are the main purposes?
Yeah, it is absolutely clear. When we decided to go to Italy, we wanted to bring all that we had already seen in the German-speaking countries, in Germany, in Switzerland. What have we seen? Doctors, pharmacists, dietitians, they have never during their normal training have they heard about microbiome research, have they heard about medically relevant probiotics. So it is important to show what is going on in this world of microbiota research, and it is incredibly evolving. We just talked about it, 25 different papers in really high-class journals. How should anybody read that? It's not possible anymore. So I think it is very important to have really good researchers that say, okay, this paper is bringing all of us one step further. And I think it's so important for every medical doctor, but also for the pharmacists, for example. What is it you should give to people who ask you, I have a problem perhaps with the gut, but also what should you give if you see there is no medical drug for a liver disease, but perhaps you will find this natural way. And for me, this has always been very important. I do not want just to help in a disease with a drug. No, for me, it is important to go to the cause of a disease and not just to treat the symptom. And with the probiotics, this is nowadays possible. So at itPROM, and I could see that in the eyes of everybody who was there. It was this growing enthusiasm for what is possible for your patients and also for yourself, because every doctor, every scientist who was there also takes probiotics themselves. So the better these probiotics get, the easier is it to stay healthy for a long time.
Good. Why have you decided to enter in Italian market in this moment?
Actually, first of all, I must say, and this is very private, I love Italy. This is the country that it was the first country where I went to when I grew up, and this was simply enthusiasm, not just for the country and its beauties, but really also for the people I met there. And so it was for me this special target country, and also because this is the country where probiotic knowledge is already there. So to come to Italy and to teach also those those doctors what is possible nowadays all over the world. This was, and there comes the really great thing. I met incredible scientists. I met incredible profs where I could see how much they had already done in research and how much they were really open for new ideas. Yes, I'm working all over the world, but with these researchers, with these scientists and medical doctors, which I have met in Italy, it is a different world. And I think there is a big need for these high quality probiotics that we have developed within the last 25 years. And I think Italy deserves to have probiotics that are really science driven and where the patient will feel the difference within the first weeks of using these omnibiotic probiotics. This is my goal, and Italy is the right country for it.
Thank you so much, Anita Frauwallner, for joining us today.
It has been my pleasure to be able to tell you a little bit about me, myself, and my probiotics.
Thank you. And thank you all for your attention.